Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm just going to talk about in this video how to set up a successful side hustle coming into 2026. And, I know a lot of people are getting a little bit overwhelmed with all the make money online stuff. I certainly have been before, that's for sure. And this one is not some fancy AI type of business. This is not a business where you even have to have a website, right? You don't even have to make a logo. You don't really have to do anything because you're selling to traffic that's already there. So, before we get into this video, this is the same side hustle that I started with to start making money online in the first place, right? And when I did start this, I know a lot about e-commerce now. I've had an e-commerce brand and stuff like that. I could sit here and talk about e-commerce all day long. But when I started making money online, I had no website. I had no brand. I hadn't sold anything major before. Didn't understand e-commerce, and I was starting with a very little amount of money, basically nothing. I was on a market stall, right? I used to do these markets. I used to sell eggs for like fresh produce food, right? Not cooked eggs, like actual eggs on a market stall, right? Like family business. But I had my own market stall, and I'd go. One of the markets that I did was a weekend market, right? Now, this weekend market was on this street in Leeds called Briggate. That's where all the main shops are. And I used to do this market on a Sunday, and I used to do different ones in different areas. But this market on a Sunday, where my stall was, it was right outside Harvey Nichols, right outside the entrance of Harvey Nichols, and I'd stand there and all day long. I'd just watch. I'm selling stuff. I'm making money at the time. I was making about 120 quid a day, which were good for my age, right, in profit. And I used to just watch people coming in and out of Harvey Nichols all day long with bags. And I know that in that shop, right, people are spending 100, 200, 300,000 pounds every single time. So I'm watching people my age buying this stuff, and it really got me thinking, like, I need to be selling what they're selling, right? And the fact that I'm stood here means that I can't sell anywhere else. So it started giving me this idea of like, right, this shop is making a lot more money than me, and I'm not able to sell to these people because I'm stood behind this stall, right? So I needed like a hustle that I could do on the side, and more importantly, like a hustle that I didn't have to be there for. So I started looking into it, right? And I've always sort of bought and sold bits on eBay ever since like a really young kid. Didn't really do it super seriously until later on, but I always sold little bits on eBay, bought little bits on eBay. So I knew how it worked, the basics of it. List an item, sell it, post it. That's it. Now, the first item that I sold of any like serious value was this Armani jacket, and I just had an old Armani jacket in my wardrobe. Probably sold it at about 100 quid, right? And I sold it while I were on the market, and I had the notification go off on my phone, and that was sort of like the light bulb moment. I was like, right, well, if I can sell stuff on eBay that people want, right? Because I knew that people wanted it, because I'd stand on the markets all day and I'd watch people coming in and out of these shops with bags. So I knew people wanted this stuff. And I always knew that people bought like fashionable items. I used to watch a lot of what the American guys do on YouTube, and shopping habits are very different in America. Like, people spend a lot more money, so I was always aware that people spend money on stuff. But that sort of like really got me thinking, because I felt like I was trapped and I couldn't earn more money. I got the proof that the market is spending and how much they're actually really spending by just standing and watching there all day. So I started buying and selling more designer bits. I started buying stuff on eBay. I started selling more of my own stuff. I started, buying stuff from outlets. I started buying stuff from retail stores, and I really started just consistently doing this on the side. And it sort of got to the point where I was making more money doing the side hustle than I was on the markets. And that's when I stopped the markets, right? The reason why this worked is because when you go on these platforms, you're only paying fees after you've made the money, right? So let's take the market stall, for example. If I went to do that market stall and I didn't make money, I've lost money that day because I've had to pay for the stall. But if I went and did the selling online, then what it meant was that I would only pay the fees after I sold the product. So I wasn't taking the risk and I was actually earning whilst I was doing something else. So I was able to earn money in my, it was pretty much a job, like working on the market, but then I was able to earn money online as well, right? And then I was doing various other hustles and stuff like this. And the next thing that I did, which really, really, really grew this flipping business very, very quickly, this was what allowed me to really turn it into something serious and really start, like, going up a few thousand every couple of months in sales, right? It was, I basically made myself so busy that I wasn't wasting any money or spending any money, right? So I was so busy earning money that I didn't even have time to spend it. So that's the first thing. Because I was doing so many hustles. I was working late at night. I was on the market. I was selling online. I would ship orders in the meantime. I'd list orders on a night time, and I was just so busy I wasn't spending money. And the second thing is, instead of taking that extra money that I was earning and spending it on myself, I just reinvested it back into the side hustle. So I just bought more stock. I got better at finding it. And what I came to realize is that if I have my saved money in stock, then the money's working for me. And that's the same thing that the banks do, right? If you think about it, like a bank takes your money and then they go and buy real estate with it, for example. This is obviously on a much larger scale. Then they make money off that real estate and they give you a percentage of that in interest, and then they keep the profit, right? This is the same thing that you're doing on obviously a much smaller level, right? You're taking your money, very small amounts of it, because you're just buying individual items. You're listing it online, and instead of having that money sat in your bank, you're having that money sat working for you 24/7 because it's selling online. And you can go do that and build a business and build a website and build a brand and build ads. That's obviously a much later stage. But if you want to do this just on the side while you're doing something else completely full time, this is one of the best businesses to do that. And when you know how to find the stock and what stock to buy, it gets very easy because, your only limitation is how much stock you can buy. But by me bringing my personal expenses down and just trying to invest as much as I can back in the business and buying more stock, I was able to start building that money up and that cycle up really quickly. And the more stock that I built up, the more money that I made, because it's like throwing fishing rods out, isn't it? The more fishing rods that you've got, the more fish that you're going to catch. It's as simple as that. So I was able to really start the momentum up for a business, and the power of this business was it wasn't a business that I had to maintain, right? I obviously had to reply to customers, I had to ship orders, I had to list stuff, there's stuff that you have to do, but it didn't really matter when I did it, and I could just do it from my phone. So instead of scrolling on Instagram, I would just be replying to customers. I would be, on a night time, I'd ship orders, I'd get it ready before I went to the markets, and I'd just do it all in my spare time. And with just a little bit of work, you can have this thing just growing in the background. And look, it wasn't the most money in the world, right? I was probably making, it took over my markets, and my markets I was making 100 to 150 quid a day, so not a lot of money at all. But when it started taking over, that's when I quit, and I was able to do a lot more than that very quickly. I turned into a Depop top seller at one point. They sent me like fucking goodie bag of like pens in or some bullshit like that. I was an eBay top seller. Got I don't know if you've seen on my other video, but I was printed on one of their stands at an event in London as a top seller. I got invited to that. I sold on these platforms for years, and yeah, it was just for the time. At the time, it was just like the perfect side hustle to get into, and because I did those other things alongside it, and I reinvested the money, I was just able to use it as a stepping stone and turn it into a proper business, right? And I stayed on these platforms for a while until it got to the point when I was selling that much stuff that I were incurring that many fees that it just made financial sense for me to build my own brand. To be honest, you're going to make more profit once you build your own brand, but this way you're able to sort of, if you're paying so much money in fees, it's because you're selling a fuckload of items. So it doesn't really matter the fees. The only reason why you want to stop paying the fees is that you can earn more profit percentage, but you're still making a lot of money either way. So the reason why this works is because it's low risk. It's zero risk, isn't it? it depends where you're buying the stuff from. If you're buying stuff off an individual, you're going to take some risk on the stock, but it's not a problem if you buy at the right price and you know what to buy anyway, and you do the proper market research. But, you know, if you buy something from a retailer, you can return it if it doesn't sell after 30 days. Or, you know, the main thing is, it's hard to sell stuff online when you're trying to build an audience or you've got to pay advertising beforehand, because if you pay the advertising, there's no guarantee you're going to get that sale, and if you build an audience, there's no guarantee you're going to get that as well. So this way you're able to sell stuff and you're not having to build an audience because the traffic's there, and you're not having to pay the advertising because you pay the fees after the sale. So, you know, that's the difficult part: building the website, building the brand, and building the sales. All you have to do is get good at finding products, know how to sell them, and you can have a successful side hustle that maybe is not the most money in the world, but, you know, it's a few grand a month. And, you know, just imagine what you could do with a few grand a month. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was always looking at like trying to level up what I was doing, trying to level up my current setup, and, you know, you have to look at high leverage ways to do that. And for me, the most high leverage thing was finding something that I could invest a very little amount of time, a very little amount of money, but it could work for me 24/7, you know. You know, some days you're going to be waking up to sales, some days you're going to be, you know, I remember even being out, you know, drinking, if I ever went out drinking when I was younger, and I'd be making sales, or, you know, you could be in a different country making sales. So it's just like a very simple way to get your foot in the door for building an online business, and it's just something super simple and just something that works. And when you know how to do it properly, like, again, not the most money in the world, it's not, you know, you're not going to be a millionaire overnight, right? But for a few grand a month, I'm not going to say there isn't potential, because you can turn it into something, you can turn it into whatever you like, or you can just keep it constantly earning for you in the background. And, you know, it's just one of the best businesses that anybody can do. You don't need the skill, you don't need to be an e-commerce professional. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. That's how you build a successful side hustle. And the thing is with this, the worse the economy gets, the better it gets, because people buy products for validation and people look for deals. And whatever AI happens, right, it's not going to change the fact that people need physical products. Anything on the internet cannot replace a physical product. People are always going to need clothes. People are always going to buy toys. People are always going to buy DVDs, makeup, whatever. The physical products are not going anywhere. And, you know, there is some things you can do with AI that actually help this business. But, you know, as far as trying to just come up with a foolproof, simple business, you know, this is the best. And I can only share with you what worked for me, but this is one that I'd personally recommend to anybody wanting to get started in anything. And it's just sort of like an entryway to e-commerce. And if you do decide to pursue e-commerce like I did, you know, like running ads and email marketing and product sourcing and, you know, branding, like, you sort of understand it all a bit better. So you're sort of building up a high income skill in the background. And yeah, that's one that worked with me. So yeah, just a quick video today. If you follow those things, you can set up a side hustle like this in 2026, and, you know, hopefully it'll be a very successful one for you, and you can turn it into something big. Yeah, all the best. See you on the next one.